Hello, this is Techdoodle and today we are going to have a look at the Corsair Ironclaw RGB Wireless mouse. And we are going to have a look at what comes in the box, some specifications, what sounds the button makes, and we are going to have a look at the iCUE software and how we can control this mouse. And then I'm going to have my conclusion. But first, let's have a look at what comes in the box. So the first thing we will talk about is the wireless receiver. So this is just a small USB receiver which connects the mouse through 2.4 GHz. And the next thing we get is a braided USB cable, which is USB-A in one end and micro USB in the other end. This is the end that goes into the mouse. And it is 1.8 meters long. And it comes with this nice little Velcro strap here to fasten it to stuff. And of course, we get the mouse. So let's talk about some specifications. First, the mouse has 10 programmable buttons. This is all from the side buttons to the main clickers and the scroll wheel. And the sensor goes up to 18,000 dpi. The switches between the left and right mouse button is made by Omron. You can use it in either wired mode or wireless mode. Then the wireless mode you can choose between the 2.4 GHz or even Bluetooth. It weighs 130 grams, which makes it maybe kind of the heavy side of the gaming mouse, but I quite like that. And the battery life of this with the lights off are, if you're using 2.4 GHz, about 24 hours. And if you use Bluetooth, it can last up to 50 hours. Okay, so now that we have gone through the specifications, I want to show you what the mouse button sounds like. So let's start with the left and right button. So they are not the loudest ones I've heard, they feel quite nice. And we also have the scroll wheel. So the last sound there was when I clicked the scroll wheel down. And we also have the profile selectors. And we also have these side buttons on the left side of the left mouse button. And we have the back, usually the back and forth buttons. They are quite silent, like that. And we also have a button on the top here. So that's a quite loud button compared to the other ones. So now that we have listened to all the buttons, I want to show you what you can do in the iCUE software with this mouse. Okay, so now we are inside the iCUE software. And here we can see the wireless dongle for the mouse. It's right here. And we also have the Ironclaw RGB Wireless here. So there, let's just have a quick look at what you can do with the wireless dongle. If you just click it, you get into this setting. And here you have the option to pair with a mouse. Maybe your mouse disconnected and you need to connect it again or anything. So you can do that here. And you can also see what kind of, what is connected to it here. In device settings, we can check for updates and we can also set the polling rate. So you can go to 1500, 250 and 125 Hertz. Okay, so now let's go to the mouse. We can select it here. And we can also see that it is in wireless mode here. And if you have it in Bluetooth mode, it will say Bluetooth mode here. And here we can see another picture of it. So let's start at the top here. Key assignment. So here we can decide what all the buttons do. So all from the option button and back and forward. DPI down and up, and also profile up and down. So we can just assign whatever button we want, if it's a keystroke or a mouse movements or launching an app, you can do whatever it says here. And that's really great if you are always launching one app really often, then you can set, oh, this button should always open Windows Explorer. So we also have hardware key assignments. And in here we can set almost the same types of keys as on the other one, only we just have text, media and macro here. While in the key assignments, if we create a new one here, we can see that we also have launch app, disable and profile switch. In lighting effects, we can set the lighting on the mouse. And we can say here what zones are. So we have lighting in the front here, which you can see this gray part here. So these, and also the scroll wheel, which lights up the sides of the scroll wheel, and the logo, which is the Corsair logo. And then we can set it for, we can choose a preset, watercolor spectrum, and what speed it should have. We can set a static color or solid custom stuff. So if you choose a lighting link, all the colors that iCUE can control, it will switch to this. Here we can set the different DPI settings. We have 3 stages that we can set, up and down, and also the sniper. So we have to configure a sniper button for you to use the lowest one here. But yeah, here we can set, this is my settings as per now. I don't use that high DPI when I'm gaming, so I just I choose the one that feels best for me. It depends on the display and what kind of resolution you have, of course. If you have a 4K monitor or higher, then you want higher DPI, because then you can actually move the mouse across the surface there. But I don't have a 4K monitor, so therefore I'm using quite low DPI stages here. And what's also great in the software is that you have surface calibration, but you have to connect it through the USB cable first. Okay, so I will now put in the cable so I can show you how this looks like. So now I connected the cable, and we can see here we have an optimal speed to calibrate it in. You can see how we are going to do this here. So I just press in here, and we can move it around. You can see if it goes too fast, it says move slower, and then yeah, you want the bar to be yellow. So I just move it across the field I'm going to use the mouse in. So now it's just adjusted to the surface. This is great if you are moving between 2 places, for example, and the one place you have a soft mouse pad and the other one you have a hard mouse pad, and maybe you want to calibrate it between the 2 places. And last but not least, we have the device settings. And here we have a large list of things here. We can check for updates. We can also set here the polling rate, same as on the receiver. Here we can see the status of the battery. Currently now I am charging because I have the cable in, but if I take it out, we can see here the status is that we are in wireless mode and our battery is high. So it does just high, medium and low. It doesn't say percentage. We can also set the brightness level of the lighting on the mouse. I have it currently on the lowest because I don't use lighting on my mouse while I'm using it, just so it lasts longer on the battery, but we can put this up, and then now all the lights on the mouse will shine. We can set the sleep mode, so it turns off if you are inactive in 50 minutes, after 50 minutes, for example, or you can set it to however many minutes you want. You can also set power saving mode, which will turn it off even quicker. And this is nice to have. Show the battery gauge in the notification area, so we can see that this down in my status bar. And we can also pair it with the receiver here. So the multi-point status here is when you have multiple devices connected to the same wireless dongle. And you can also see the additional devices here, but we don't have any, so yeah, it doesn't show us any here. Angle snapping is a feature that when you activate it, the mouse is easier to move in a straight line up and down. but this isn't recommended for gaming, but if you're trying to draw a straight line, for example, you can activate this. Enhance pointer position, it makes an acceleration curve when you move the mouse, but I don't like that feature, so I just turn it off. And here you can also adjust the pointer speed. So this is the same speed as the is in Windows. So button response optimization is when you're lifting your mouse, it tries to sense that you are lifting it and don't register the mouse click when you are putting it down again. This may be a problem for some, that it randomly clicks either left or right button, but this button response optimization tries to fix that. And you can also see here the onboard memory of the mouse. You can save profiles on it. So even if iCUE isn't running, you have the profile on it. So if you have problems with the software, you can save the profile of how you want the mouse to behave on the mouse itself, and then you can close the software and completely, so it doesn't affect your game or anything, and then it should work perfectly fine. After that, you don't have to worry about the iCUE software. So yeah, that's all I think we need to see in the iCUE software here. So now I will go back to the studio. Okay, so that was the iCUE software. Now I want to give you my thoughts about this mouse. Let's start with the most obvious part first. As you may have seen in this video, the mouse has this, looks like maybe stains or something. I am not sure what happened here. I had this mouse for 6 months now, and gradually it has become worse. It's now quite sticky in these parts here. I tried to clean it multiple times, only using a microfiber cloth and some lukewarm water. I don't know if the coating on the plastic here has had some reaction with my hands. I have never experienced this before on any mouse that I've used, but you can see it very clearly on the left and right mouse button, also in the palm area. And since this mouse is designed for palm and claw use, well, it should have been stronger here, and I don't know if you are able to see it, but if you see this shiny plastic part here and the line that goes here, it starts to rub off this this coating, and it's also happening on the sides here. I don't know if that is a problem with this mouse or if it's all of the Ironclaw mouse. I haven't seen any other complaint about it, so maybe it's an isolated problem here. But other than that, I haven't had any problems with this. So what's maybe hard to see is this part here is a little bit more gray, and this front part here is made of metal, and it makes this mouse feel very sturdy, and I really like the feeling of it when I move it across the mouse pad. In my experience, the battery life is good, especially for a gaming mouse. I have some of the more business type of wireless mouse that last forever and ever, but this being a gaming mouse, I think that maybe 24 hours in the 2.4 gigahertz is really good, and it's also easy to use while it's connected to the USB power. So there's no problem there. When you're connecting it using the USB cable, it runs purely on the USB cable. So that's really great when eventually the battery inside this dies, because it isn't replaceable. Then the mouse can theoretically live forever. So that's really great. And also I tried to use this on several different surfaces, and I haven't found any other problems than on glass. It does not work on glass at all. But from the, soft mouse pads, the hard type, wood, and even my desk and paper, and even cardboard, there is no problem. So I think this will work great if you're either using it on your pants or on a table, if you're traveling, or on a mouse pad. I think that's really, really great. It didn't jump around or feel weird. It felt really really smooth and everything on all surfaces that I tried it on. And one thing I had to program away was this button here. So this is not so easy to see, but this one is a little bit higher than the rest of the mouse. So sometimes when I move my hands from the keyboard to the mouse, I often misclick on this. So I had to make sure that that button does nothing in case I just accidentally press it. So it's great that you have the option, but I don't know what use case this button I usually have. Maybe return to desktop, or I don't know, a sniper button. You can do whatever you like. So in my years I tried plenty of different mouses, and I never had one that I liked quite as much as this one, because it feels really great in my hands. I usually have the way I hold the mouse is I feel like a combination of palm and claw use. It's in the name, Ironclaw, and it's made for large hands. So if you are one that have your fingers straight on this mouse, so you may have a problem that your fingers goes over the edge here, and that will make it uncomfortable for you. But this mouse isn't made for you. I think Corsair has other mouse for different use cases. So in conclusion, I'm a huge fan of this mouse. It fits really good in my hand. My hands have like a claw grip, and for users that have that kind of grip on your mouse, I really would recommend this, especially if you have large hands. I have quite large hands, but if you are not using a claw grip or have smaller hands, I wouldn't recommend this for you at all. If you are one that likes to grip onto the mouse with your whole hands, you may experience that your fingers will go past the edges of the buttons here, and that will make it maybe uncomfortable for you in the long run. The battery life is good, the comfort is really good. I think the high weight of it is quite good. It feels really solid, and I really like how it is to use. It feels easy to control, especially in shooter games, for example. And also the noise it makes isn't that loud or intrusive at all. I had mices that makes so much more noise than this, and so that's a really good thing, I think. So yeah, I don't think there is much else to see about this mouse. So I hope you liked this video. Like it if you did, and consider subscribing. We would love to have you in our techie family. And yeah, see you in the next video. Have a good one.